Okay, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be looking at the addition and subtraction of sword. Addition and subtraction of sword. So the question is, when will you add and when will you subtract sword? So sword can only be added or subtracted when they are in the same basic form. You can only add or subtract sword when they are in the same basic form. For instance, if I have root 2 plus root 2, I can add these two sword together because they're in the same basic form, root 2, root 2. This will be equal to 2 root 2. It's just like the way I have it in algebra that s plus s is equal to 2s. In the same way, root 2 plus root 2 should give you 2 root 2. That means there are 2 of these root 2 here. S plus s, this is like 1s, this is like 1s. So s plus s will give you 2x. The same way, 1 root 2 plus 1 root 2 is equal to 2 root 2. So if I have an expression like this, let's say I have root 3 plus root 3. This will be equal to, this is 1 root 3, this is another 1 root 3. So root 3 plus root 3 will be equal to 2 root 3. So the idea here is that swords can only be added or subtracted when they are in the same basic form, only when they are in the same basic form. So let's talk a bit on subtraction. Let's say I have 5 root 2 minus 3 root 2. So because of the fact that these two roots are in the same basic form, this sword and this sword are in the same basic form, root 2, root 2, 5 minus 3 will give me 2. So this will be equal to 2 root 2. It's just like I have it in algebra as well, that 5x minus 3x will be equal to 2x. So what we're doing here is that we can only add or subtract sword when they are in the same basic form. So this fact is very important. Swords can only be added or subtracted when they are in the same basic form. If they are not in the same basic form, you cannot add or subtract them. So let's look at this example 1. Simplify root 8 plus root 18. So if you look at these two swords, they are not in the same basic form. This is 8, this is 18. They are not in the same basic form, and so you cannot add them. So for us to be able to add this sword or add up this expression, we'll have to simplify the expression to get to that basic form, to get the sword to that basic form. So the question is, simplify root 8 plus root 18. So what we're going to do here is to simplify these two expressions separately. We simplify them such that we'll get two factors, one of which is a perfect square and the other an imperfect square. So we'll first of all go with 8. So I'll draw out this factorization table, write 8 here. So what can divide this 8? 2 can go. 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. So I now have one perfect square here. This is an imperfect square. So, and you should know that your 2 times 4 is equal to 8, or 4 times 2 is equal to 8. So the simplified form of square root of 8 is equal to the square root of 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. The idea here is that when you resolve them into two factors. One which is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, and the other is an imperfect square. So plus, then I'll also resolve 18. So I'll come here, write out this factorization table, write out 18 here. So what can divide this 18? 2 can go. 18 divided by 2 will give me 9. So, and you should know that your 2 times 9 is equal to 18. So the resolved factor of the square root of 18 will be equal to the square root of 9 times 2. So 9 times 2 will give me 18. So this expression and this expression, they are the same. So having done this, we can now separate them into 2. So here I have square root of 4 times square root of 2. This and this are the same, plus square root of 9 times square root of 2. Square root of 9 times square root of 2 will give me 18. Square root of 4 times square root of 2 will give me square root of 8. So these and these, they are the same. So having done this, the square root of 4 is 2. So this will be 2 times root 2 plus square root of 9 is 3. So this will be 3 times root 2. So this will be 2 root 2. That's this 2 times this root 2 will give me 2 root 2 plus 3 times root 2 will give me 3 root 2. So with this, our surd is now in the same basic form, root 2 root 2. So 2 root 2 plus 3 root 2 will be equal to 5 root 2. This is the answer to this question. So like I said, the basic idea here about the addition and subtraction of surd is that surd can only be added or subtracted when they are in the same basic form. If they are not in the same basic form, you cannot add them. So if you are given any work in which the surds are not in the same basic form, you will have to simplify them to get that basic form before they can be added or subtracted.